The woman was swaying on a ladder 2,000 feet up in the air, completely unaware that the bolts holding it in place were already coming loose. When the two reached the top of the tower, they went crazy taking photos. But when they were ready to head back down, the ladder suddenly slipped. The bolts gave way completely. Becky plummeted straight down. Irene, attached to the other end of the rope, grabbed onto the pole for dear life. Becky dangled helplessly 2,000 feet above the ground, swinging back and forth. Irene gripped the rope with all her strength, trying to haul Becky back up. But her foot slipped, and Becky brushed with death once again. Luckily, she managed to brace herself with her feet just in time. Irene became even more careful. Using the tension, Becky climbed upward, finally making it safely to the top. But now the tower's ladder had completely fallen away. Their only foothold was the small platform at the peak. Worse still, their phones had zero signal at this altitude. Desperate to get a signal, Irene decided to risk climbing out onto what remained of the ladder. Then she let go with both hands, dangling herself 2,000 feet in the air. Her fingers were slowly losing their grip, but still, no signal. By the next day, no rescue had come. Irene suggested climbing down to retrieve their backpack. Without taking this risk, they'd die of thirst anyway. After securing the rope, Irene began descending toward the base of the tower. But she'd barely started when disaster struck. The rusted steel pipe snapped instantly. Irene swung wildly through the air. Thankfully, she was in incredible physical shape. Once she steadied herself, she continued down step by step. Soon she was near the backpack, but it was still a few feet out of reach. No matter how hard she tried, she couldn't grab it. That's when Irene made an insane decision. Without warning, she unclipped her safety rope. The next second, she leaped through the air with reckless abandon. Miraculously, she landed on the only support beam available. She carefully peered over the edge. One wrong move would have meant certain death. Irene quickly grabbed the backpack, but getting back up presented a whole new problem. The rope was right there, just inches away. She pulled out a selfie stick, threaded it through the backpack, and hooked it onto the rope. Then, in another death-defying move, Irene launched herself through the air and grabbed the dangling backpack. One slip and she'd be dead. Fortunately, her athletic prowess saved her again. She held on tight while Becky pulled with every ounce of strength she had. They were almost at the top when disaster struck again. Irene's strength gave out. Her foot slipped. Looking at the taut rope, Becky carefully peered over the edge.